Hello and a very warm welcome to UCL, to London and the UK. You've reached one of the most diverse parts of the world and you're in for an absolute treat. Walk along any London high street and you're bound to get a feel for exactly what I mean. And you should know that UK workplaces are exactly the same. They're highly internationally diverse, which makes them very exciting places to work. So while getting a job in the UK means being part of a competitive process, there is absolutely no reason to think that as an international student, you are anything less than competitive. In fact, in some ways it could be argued that you're more competitive, having been successful in 2 different countries and in 2 different cultures, which shows great adaptability. That said, it's important to note that there are variations in how easy or difficult it might be to get that Tier 2 visa, depending, for example, on the job sectors you may be interested in. I'll be sharing this data with you a little later in this video. So stick around to find out 6 ways to maximise your chances of getting a graduate role in the UK and turning that Tier 4 visa into a Tier 2. First up, getting to know how the UK graduate labour market works. Typically, there are 2 main routes to getting a role. Number 1, a graduate scheme. Number 2, a graduate role. So graduate schemes are generally run by larger organisations and have a rotational aspect, which allows you to experience different elements of that organisation before settling on a specialism. These typically recruit between September and January for a start the following autumn. Many of these sponsor. Meanwhile, graduate roles are open year-round, and these can be applied through via job adverts or generating your own opportunities through contacts and through building up partnerships as part of your dissertation. But you should know that you're going to have to have secured that Tier 2 visa at least 3 months from the time your Tier 4 expires in order to give that organisation enough time to process the paperwork. Now, the second thing is to start early. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Raj, I've only just landed. I haven't even had a chance to take a selfie with the Queen or with a postbox. But with applications for many graduate schemes opening as early as September, it's really important to get traction early. It's also a really good idea to start early in order to build networks around you who can help and support you get roles and for you to communicate your skills and abilities to as well. And also, starting early allows you to develop a sense of what's working and what's not. So if you need to make changes, you have time to make those changes and to make them work for you. Number 3 is building a support network around you and, crucially, having conversations with those people who have transitioned to the UK labour market before you. UCL's alumni community website can be accessed through this URL. You have access to tens of thousands of UCL alumni and you can sign up yourself as a current student, and I strongly recommend it. Once you've registered and signed in, your homepage will look a little bit like this, and you can start building your own network by either going through groups and identifying those whose experiences may closely resemble yours and reaching out to them by introducing yourself. Or you can search by organisation or profession type and see what matches come up that way. I'd recommend reaching out to those people who have willing to help listed by their profile name. Number 4 is understanding the landscape around you. And if you're a UCL student, we have a resource that can help. From UCL Careers' own website, click Explore Your Options. Then click Explore Opportunities, followed by Immigrations and Visas, which is full of great information, but for now we're just going to focus on one aspect within this area, and that's by scrolling down and clicking on 2 really significant links. The first opens up a sheet on Tableau with 5 countries' data of international students' destinations. As you can see here, in the country of employment pie chart, you have 19% of Chinese UCL graduates continuing to work in the UK. Scrolling down a little, you can see bar charts representing which sectors Chinese UCL graduates have ended up in, or indeed any countries that you select from the drop-down menu, with colours representing geographies of their particular destinations. Of even more significance and importance, I feel, is clicking on the second data dashboard link. The page opens up onto data of organisations that gave Tier 2 sponsorship to UCL students and graduates from their Tier 4 visas between 2014 and 2018. You can see that there are over 27,000 such organisations that have a recent live history of employing UCL international talent just like you. The data is listed in descending numerical order, so right at the top is the organisation that provided the largest such Tier 2 visas in 2018. And another thing to note is that organisations can operate under a range of different subsidiary or legal names. And why is this significant? Well, if we look at Goldman Sachs here, you could easily assume that it didn't offer any Tier 2 visas to UCL students in 2014 or 2015. But if there's a particular organisation you're interested in, then it's a good idea to use the search bar to identify different legal or subsidiary names that organisation might operate under. Scrolling down to the bottom area, it becomes really apparent that there are significant differences in visas granted relative to the sector in question. Particularly strong are finance and insurance, health and social work, education, as well as professional, scientific and technical activities, which is the largest single sector. If you're unsure what these categories might include, then I'd recommend filtering on each specific one that interests you and seeing what kind of organisations are contained within that. Number 5 is taking full advantage of the careers resources available to you. One crucial way in which you can do this as an international student is attending employer-led skills sessions. So these might be where employers take you through what it means to make a good CV, what it means to make a good application form, and this should really help you understand the recruitment culture in the UK. So number 6, have a plan B. You can definitely make it work, this transition into the UK labour market, but not everyone who tries will succeed. And by having a plan B, you can fully then allow yourself to focus on making that plan A work. One way you can do this is by applying to multinationals in your home country. It's significantly easier to move internationally once you're part of an organisation that can help and support you through that process. Okay, so that's it for now. If you want to talk over your individual career planning as an international student, I'd encourage you to book in for an appointment through the UCL Careers website. We can talk over all those career planning aspects with you. For status or individual visa queries, we recommend you speak to trusted individuals and personnel who are authorised to help you with that. And for any career-related questions, we would love to see you in the service. Lastly, I'm really excited about a video I'm currently working on behind the scenes. It's going to come out in a few weeks' time, and it's going to be a video featuring your careers questions and me answering them directly. Please email careers.marketing@ucl.ac.uk from your UCL email address. Those are the ones I'm going to prioritise, but you can also leave your questions in the comments section down below. Lastly, hit subscribe and hit the bell icon to not miss out on this content.